So you want to know how to drop more kills in Warzone, but you also have a share in controller sales, so you want to make people destroy as many as possible. Well, don't worry, I got you. What's up guys, it's Average Owl, making average content for the average viewer, and today I wanted to show you guys how to get more kills in Warzone, but in the most toxic ways possible. Before we get on with it, let's see if we can hit 30 likes on today's video, and if you're new here, it would be awesome if you'd subscribe. Now, I just want to get something out there before we dive deep into this toxic cesspit, and that is that I am not condemning any playstyle, and ultimately you can play the game however you'd like. With that being said, if any of you use these plays on me, well, let's just say that I hope you eat a pizza too quickly after you've just taken it out of the oven, and then when you take your first bite, the cheese pulls off and it dribbles down your chin, leaving you looking like you've just gone down on a girl with stinging nettles for pubes. Are we clear? Let's get on with it then. Number 1. The Mincer. Okay, so a lot of people go into a game of Warzone with one goal in mind, to get as many kills as possible. But there are a number of people for whom just getting a regular old kill just isn't enough. These are the people who as children enjoyed frying ants with a magnifying glass, as nothing makes them feel more powerful than that feeling of pure overkill. Now, when these little kids grow up and start to play Warzone, there is a certain type of person that they grow up to be. These guys will look for the nearest helicopter to the flight path and make a beeline straight for it. Not to make a swift getaway, oh no. Instead, they want to watch you fly straight into those blades and make you explode like a 35-year-old virgin in a strip club for the first time. Dicks. Number 2. The Spammer. There are a few different playstyles in Warzone that have made their way to the forefront of the meta. These could be rooftop campers or people who just enjoy going for bounty after bounty, racking up that cash fast. But there is one type of player and they know exactly how to drop more kills in Warzone. And it isn't through tactics and good shot placement, no. It's through spamming the absolute shit out of an RPG as if Rambo had just joined the Taliban. They don't have time for waiting for a perfect headshot with a sniper rifle. Why go for precision when you can just blast your enemy into a million tiny little pieces? I should mention that these clips aren't mine, as it seems that I can't actually hit shit with an RPG, so a Mixer streamer by the name of Mappy gave me these clips, so give him a follow, the link's in the description. Moving on. Number 3. The Prodigal Son. Do you guys remember that old parable about two brothers and they both get given their inheritance earlier, but the younger one blows his on what I can only assume was coke and strippers, and then returns home and begs for forgiveness from his father? Well, this actually isn't anything like this apart from the fact that this guy is returning, so sorry for the loose link, but it's staying in the video anyway. This guy is a gulag champ. He may die early on in the game with little to no kills to his name, but you know what? It doesn't matter because he backs himself in the gulag and he knows he'll come out on top. Now, most people when they are released into the fresh or not so fresh air of Verdansk might head for a loadout drop or some sort of contract so they can start earning some pennies for the rest of the game. But not the Prodigal Son. His true goal is to get a cheap kill by dropping in behind some poor unsuspecting soul and spamming their pistol into the back of his head and then doing a little dance on their corpse, because in their world this type of trolling makes them feel like the man, and maybe just for a minute makes them forget that they are actually 30 years old and still breaking out in acne. Chin up, champ. Number 4. The Bamboozler. Remember in Apex Legends the character Mirage, where he had a wicked suit that would project a hologram of himself running into the open, and then the enemy would be bamboozled into thinking that that was in fact the actual enemy and start shooting at them, both giving away their position and often turning their back on the actual Mirage. Well, in Warzone, we have people like this too, but instead of a high-tech hologram suit, they have, wait for it, thick trucky boys. Since the release of solos, people quickly realised a good way to consistently get more kills in Warzone, and this is with the aid of vehicles. At first, this consisted of people mainly just roaming around the map trying to evade players, and then staying in their vehicle, which is essentially just a fast tank at this point, and waiting for the final circle to close in. But as with all things, these players, who, to be honest, were already toxic enough, evolved into something even more toxicer. Toxicer? More toxic. Now, in other BR games with vehicles, if you jump out at high speed, you, quite rightly, end up crippled worse than Tiny Tim after his first UFC match. But in Warzone, you are able to jump out of a high speed vehicle and remain completely unscathed. This is where the bamboozlement comes in. What you're going to want to do is find an enemy out in the open somewhere, and then, as you're driving past them, jump out just in front of them. Most of the time, this player will continue to track the vehicle as it zooms past them, leaving you the opportunity to take them out from behind like they have just dropped the soap. And then, all you have to do is listen for the voice chat, and if you're lucky, you'll be able to hear them smashing their LED covered keyboard. Ah, bliss. Number 5. Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls is known for a lot of cool stuff, whether it be drinking his own piss, killing helpless little animals and eating them, or saying stuff like, "The best thing to do is take your clothes off and jump in the river." But at the core of all of this, the main thing that Bear does well is camping, but camping with a bit more style. Now in Warzone, like in any first person shooter, we have a number of people who like camping, whether that be because they're scared or maybe they are just desperate to get that first Warzone victory. But there is one type of camper that is worse than all of them. I will say that I don't actually have the clip of this because there is a level of low that even I won't stoop to, and to be honest, I just don't have the patience. But believe me, these guys are out there and they definitely do have the patience. And people like this love nothing more than shitting all over your day. So when you approach a group of houses, you'll know that you often hear the little hum of a loot crate. A welcome sound, as quite often this means that not only are you in for some juicy loot, but also there is a good chance that this area hasn't been looted and therefore is pretty safe, right? Wrong. What the Bear Grylls player will be doing is hiding in one of these buildings, staying still like a snake waiting to pounce, aiming directly at the loot crate, and then you come along and open it, wondering what you'll get, maybe an M4 or a big stack of cash, and then fuck, this little prick jumps out of the bathroom and scares the absolute crap out of you. Look, I know I said at the beginning that you're entitled to play this game however you want, but seriously, camping a loot box on the off chance that some poor unsuspecting soul might run into your crosshairs is almost as low as reverse boosting in multiplayer to get lobbies with people who don't even have thumbs. You're not cool, you're a cunt. Anyway, that about wraps it up for my 5 toxic ways for how to drop more kills in Warzone. I hope you enjoyed it and be sure to let me know in the comments if you have any more. For those of you who have watched a few of these average little videos, you'll know that I like to see who sticks around until the end. So if you're still here, I'd like you to let me know by answering this down in the comments. If you had to choose between winning every game with no kills or getting 20 kills a game but always coming second, which would you choose? Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm Average Joel. Peace.